Berlin 1891, and the royal court of Kaiser Wilhelm II is about to be racked with scandal involving sex parties, deadly duels, and blackmail, all part of the life at court of the last German emperor. Princess Charlotte, sister of the Kaiser, may have hosted an orgy to entrap aristocratic rivals. The court's public image was one of prudery and Prussian punctiliousness, but some of them had a predilection for swinger-style parties and late-night orgies. Police profiles uncovered from the Prussian state archives in Berlin reconstruct the erotic goings-on of a group of aristocrats and court officials, which started off as a sex party and ended in a series of blood-splattered duels. The construction of the fortified Grunwald Castle began in the 1540s and was added to many times over the centuries. Located on the edge of western Berlin, it was originally a defensive structure which in the 1700s was adapted from castle to chateau as a Baroque-style royal retreat. It sits in extensive wooded grounds, which were mainly used for hunting, so it was inevitable that a secluded and luxurious hunting lodge would be constructed next to the lake around the same time. It was not only the sovereign and aristocracy who enjoyed the diversion of hunting, as the entire court society found these events very much a pleasure and pastime. The place at times was poorly maintained. During a stay by guests who were keen to escape the monotony of court life, one couple had a bit of a mishap when a rotten floor gave way, and the husband got stuck between the beams, but did not injure himself, more than a few bruises and embarrassment. His wife was not so lucky, as she plunged into the void that had opened up beneath her, broke her thigh, and impaled herself on the hanging antlers in the room below. After that, she could only walk on crutches. Over the years, the lodge went through conversions, renovations, and remodels to keep it as a place to stay for hunting events lasting several days. Lavish festivities made them a must-go social event. One such gathering was when a hand-picked and invitation-only select group of Prussian aristocracy, 15 men and women in all, first met together at the invitation of Princess Charlotte, the sister of Kaiser Wilhelm II, at the hunting lodge during 1891. The partygoers included the brother-in-law of the Kaiser and his chamberlain, Liebrecht von Kotze, who organized the royal household, together with the Foreign Ministry State Secretary. The parties, it was said, consisted of unbridled sex sessions, in which the participants drank and danced, as well as experimenting with a variety of different ways to enjoy themselves. The select gatherings might have remained unnoticed if it weren't for one of the partygoers, whose identity remains unknown, the day after one of the escapades sent participants scandalous, sexually explicit, libelous blackmail letters that included lurid illustrations and graphic descriptions of the events of the previous night, and threatened to reveal the identities of the participants. Because of these letters, the party had turned into a nightmare for the participants, when every private detail, including the acts that were performed, were made public. The sender threatened to reveal the names of the participants who took part and were involved. It has been suggested over the years that Princess Charlotte, who was a chain-smoking lover of scandal, who died after lengthy psychiatric treatment in 1919, may have hosted the events with the sole purpose of entrapping her unwitting friends and guests. It is not surprising that a scandal erupted when the anonymous, obscene letters were sent to high-ranking officials and their families, exposing the secret orgies. The scandal would rumble on for a further couple of years. The attempts at blackmail exploded into huge proportions when news of the orgies reached high-ranking representatives of the Prussian court, as well as the emperor himself. A heated debate in the Reichstag followed. In the letters, the whistleblower, who graphologists say was certainly a woman, repeatedly takes a swipe at the Duchess of Hohenau, who was married to the openly gay aristocrat Frederick, describing her as a randy tart, and her love life was well known and included liaisons with future high-ranking politicians. The writer also unleashes her anger on Elide von Schrader, the wife of a chamberlain who enjoyed lesbian affairs, and Prince Alibert von Anhalt, an official for the first Olympic Games, who was accused of having sex with other men. It wasn't long before it was known nationwide. The affair caused immense public excitement, scandalized the court, and forced the emperor to deal with the embarrassing and deeply troubling situation. After discovering that his own chamberlain, Kotze, was deeply entangled in the goings-on, Kaiser Wilhelm had him locked up, causing the chamberlain public shame, and without any formal charges, he was held for some months. There was only spurious evidence. The accusation had come from an army officer called von Schrader. This caused a massive scandal on its own in Berlin society. Kotze was, it appears, suspected of penning the obscene libels and was tried behind closed doors by a court of honor. Evidence, including blotting paper, accused him of disparaging, through the letters, about the other participants in the orgy. Eventually, he was acquitted and released because no arrest warrant had been issued, and in his thirst for revenge, he began to search for the partygoers who had revealed his identity and being the writer of the letters. After his release, his mission became to find the blackmailer, and he started challenging the male partygoers to duels. The imperial court maintained that Kotze was bound to challenge all who had offended him so as to recover his reputation, and he sought to restore his honor by challenging those he suspected of betraying him. Duels between him and other male partygoers followed. He was injured in the first one, receiving an Easter egg from the Kaiser as a get-well gesture. He then challenged Schrader, the chamberlain of the Empress. It was agreed by both parties that it should be with pistols at 10 paces, and should continue until one of them was incapacitated. It did not go well for Schrader, who was shot in the lungs in the first round, and died in great agony, entreating his family not to avenge his death. Kotze received the congratulations of the emperor, but some at court maintained that he was practically ordered to fight, and that the emperor ought to be the last man to sanction breaches of the law. In 1896, during a subsequent duel, he was killed when a bullet penetrated his intestine, which highlighted the brutal, often fatal, nature of German military honor codes at the time. The scandal showed the often reckless pursuit of reputation through duels. The true author of the letters has never been fully confirmed. The whole affair highlighted deep divisions, jealousies, and moral failings within the highest levels of the German Empire's court and military.